Welcome to Sigma Africa 2026. My name is Miss Betty Kithinchi, and right here with me, I'm joined by, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Okay, I'm Sibongile Simelane. I'm actually the Executive Director for the South African Responsible Gambling Foundation. We actually run a number of intervention targeted at responsible gambling. Actually, we're no longer calling it responsible gambling because of the connotation that is stigmatized. We're calling it harm reduction and harm minimization. And we do this through our flagship program called the National Responsible Gambling Program. We do treatment and counseling, psycho evaluation to somebody that has actually other mental health condition. We actually also have rehabilitation where we run inpatient programs, or we admit into psychiatric hospitals those individuals that are really battling or have comorbid conditions. They may have underlying health conditions, or they will have substance abuse over and above gambling addiction. We also have public awareness campaigns that we run throughout the country in collaboration with the National Gambling Board, the provincial legislative authorities, which are the gambling boards, and other stakeholders. Funny enough, we actually run quite a number of campaigns with our operators. So I think that for us, it shows the commitment by our operators to responsible gambling, because like I said, during in the panel, one key takeaway is that our operators, at least some of them, they've invested quite a lot, in their businesses. And a customer that does not come back, it's a customer that has been lost.
So I'm interested in the statistics as well. The people that you're able to help rehabilitate, how is it looking like maybe from 2025 to now?
Look, it's not looking good. I think for us, one of the indicators will be for people that once they've exited the program, they don't relapse back. So over the past 5 years, we've seen about 375 people relapsing. It may seem like a small number, but we're talking about 375 people with families and individuals that have a long time battle with problem gambling.
So what are some of the key measures that regulators should take to make sure this is well executed?
Hold everyone in the industry accountable. What do I mean by that? It doesn't help if we're going to be talking about harm reduction strategies and harm minimization interventions if we don't have a regulatory framework that supports that. For instance, we talk so much about tools that are aimed at, minimizing harm, such as cool-off periods, deposit limits, and self-exclusions. But if those are not implemented across the board, like each and every operator decides what they do and how they do it and when they do it, those efforts are not working, because people, if they have taken a cool-off period from one operator, nothing stops them from going to the other operator and actually continue playing. So we want harmonized intervention and regulatory framework.
So you've mentioned about working closely with the regulators. How do you actually work together to ensure that this mission is achieved?
We do advocacy, policy influence advocacy. What we do as the foundation, which we are coming up very strongly on it, is to actually identify regulatory gaps and areas that we believe policymakers and the regulators needs to pay attention on. Now, we don't have the mechanism to actually hold anyone accountable. What we do have, what we actually always do, is to identify regulatory gaps, areas of improvement, targeted interventions that the industry needs to pay attention, and we then communicate those to the relevant stakeholders.
All right, so my last question would be, what lessons should other responsible gaming bodies should learn from your team, or rather your foundation?
Responsible gambling intervention are very tedious and very tiring. And you drop the ball, you lose it. You need to be consistent, you need to be persistent, you need to make sure that you have relationships with both the regulators and the operators. Don't choose who you want to have a relationship with. Have a relationship with as many stakeholders, even community-based, organizations, because they are the ones actually who deals or lives with the communities. They know what's happening in those communities. So your strength to having responsible gambling interventions, they lie with stronger stakeholder intervention.
All right. Thank you, Sibongile, for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
All right. That was Sibongile, who is Executive Director, the South African Responsible Gambling Foundation. Thank you for watching.